We were talking about DreamWorks though.
No, but that's a wild story because like
No, we were not.
Yeah,
We were done.
We're not going. Okay, all right.
it was back to DreamWorks.
Trying to keep the thread.
No, but that's crazy because like who knows? Maybe one day you'll be a peer of Johnny Dubs. Maybe Z will make an incredible symphony someday. Or I guess that's not what it's called.
A symphony.
He'll make a
You
symphony.
talking about a score?
A score.
Yeah.
He'll make an
Yeah, I don't know
incredible
about
score.
that. I'm fine. I'm like, he's so big. It's like one of those that's more than what. It's like when I fucking met Joe Hisaishi. It was like,
Yeah.
That was before you went to that concert recently, right? That was like a while ago.
that was years ago. It's just like,
It's funny you realize how accessible all those people are, though, if you're in the right circles. You know?
that both of those situations did not come from any type of connections, any type of. It was purely.
I mean, just being in the right spaces. Like, I don't know, dog. I've met. I just like opened for Bobcat Goldthwait in my first year of comedy. Like, I've met Chappelle. I've met all these people that, like, at this stage in my life, couldn't care less. But like, I feel like at a certain point you're just like, oh damn, these people are just around.
I mean, like, if you go to their
depends
shit,
on who are every individual is different.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like
if
Joe
you go to
Hisaishi,
their shit, it's a higher. I mean, they're there. You know.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
higher chance.
right?
But it just, I think the way we idealize these people, we just get this sense that they're like completely unattainable, and then you just like, you get to a point where you're just like, oh no, you can meet them. It's possible. You know. I don't have a bigger point than that, but
no, neither do I. We're just chilling. This is a chill app.
I don't know. I had at one point I had like a list of like, people that I wanted to, I dreamed of like collaborating with or even just meeting, and I broke it down. It's like, most of the people are in like a regular list, and then I had a moonshot section, and the people in the moonshot
We're just getting crossed off.
well, yes, but I'm saying they were there because they're older. They maybe don't live in the U.S. or they don't live in New York City. They don't work. They're not like working as often.
yeah.
So I'm like, the odds of me just meeting them is just so much smaller than everyone else. It's like even someone, I don't know, like I think about how I didn't meet David Byrne, but I ran into him in a market. I feel like I told y'all the David Byrne story. I think I told y'all the David Byrne story is kind of funny because it was when I used to work at opening ceremony, so I was like down in Soho. And by the way, I'm bringing this up just to say it's like, oh well, that was more realistic to me because I'm like, New York City, you can just run into him. He's out here all the time. But anyways, I was working in Soho, and I was standing. I can't remember the name. I wish I could remember the name of the market, so people who are like native to New York City or who live here know. But I'm standing in there. And the way my memory is like, it was like an angel because he was wearing like white and his hair was like very white, and the sun was like shining through the door, so it was literally like just light flashing in this white man with white hair, and we
got to talk about your concepts of God.
There is no concept of God.
He doesn't exist. Anyways.
But he comes walking in, and he does this like like this glance at me like it's
your boy.
It was a smile. It wasn't like a condescending. It was sort of like, I'll let you process that. And then I'm like standing there. I'm like, and I pull my phone out, and I would just start Google David Byrne because I'm like, I'm doubting myself. I'm like, there's no way. Right. And I'm like looking up images, and I'm like, oh, yep, that's him. And then I turn and I look, and there's like the spot had like this, not a buffet, but how they have, it's like the metal trays and like with glass over it or whatever. And he has his glasses over his nose, and he's going. was just funny. And then we got checked out at the same time and then walked out. And I never said anything. And I was like, damn.
Wow.
I love David Byrne.
Yeah.
This is not my beautiful grocery store.
Hey, this buffet. This ain't no fooling around. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That album he did with St. Vincent. Very good.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Yeah. I like St. Vincent.
Yeah.
Every time I have this conversation with people, though, it's like when I talk with Alex about like dope artists or whatever, his energy is always sort of just like, who cares, you know, like who cares. Which I understand.
That tracks.
Which I understand, but I'm also like, I don't know, like I like art is like one of the last things that like bring me joy in this world.
Yeah.
So it is like, to me, they are sort of like wizards to me, you know. It's like they're like, at least the people who influence me.
Right. I'll never forget when Regis Philbin came to my high school.
I'm like, wizard. He goes, Regis Philbin.
Yeah.
Wizard for the ages.
It was like
Showtime wizard.
What are you guys, kids?
for yeah.
What are you guys, kids or something?
Oh, boys.
Oh.
What are you, just fucking each other day in and day out? Oh, boys. Oh, my God.
Why don't you show us a trick? Huh?
But yeah, for some reason he came to like to speak at an event at our high school, like after hours, and I went to it, and they needed just like people on stage to make it not look like such an empty ass stage with just him and the moderator. So I was on stage sitting in the background with like 10 other people while he was being interviewed. And he recalled some story where he actually interviewed Steven Spielberg at like USC. He didn't interview him, but he got a question asked, and it was Steven Spielberg in the crowd. And years later, he found out that was him, and it was like, "What's your advice for making it in the entertainment industry?" Whatever.
Oh my God!
This was like 2012, 2013.
I thought you were gonna go, and he pointed at me, and he went, "Do you want to be a millionaire?" Just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm a
Who wants to
millionaire.
be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that story.
I mean, bro,
There aren't.
we had Ruben Studdard's mom spoke at my high school. So
Y'all are
that's
just
a better
degrading.
story.
You said that. You said that a couple.
I did. Yeah.
I mean,
They-
I'm
I'm
sorry.
like
We all
amnesia.
haven't had Excalibur tossed to us by John.
No. Where I'm going with it is like there has to be at least one or two or three like artists,
that I
living
would-
artists or creatives where you're just like, yeah, like that would be a big deal to me. That would mean a lot to me. Like, cause you know,
Yeah.
there's people who they try and do this like posturing of like, and I think it's funny because like half the people I'm like, if your biggest influence walked in the room, you would be fucking shaking in your boots right now. You're trying to act, trying to act like, oh, he's a human. It's like, yeah, we know they're human beings,
Right. No.
And we're not like
I think a lot of
blindly
it's just like
worship- we're not-
war. Like you don't know until it's happening.
Yeah, you're
Wow,
also like not
yeah.
blindly worshiping them or something, but it's just like, yeah, if a motherfucker shaped your fucking childhood and you never met them before, it's gonna be a big, and you're a creative, it's like gonna be a big deal to you.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I come at it from the perspective of I'm in comedy and just the turnover rate for
of
people-
legends.
is just so high. Just everybody is trash.
Yeah.
And so like in the art form that is meant the most to me my whole life, just like can't trust anybody.
I'd probably
And so
really
I just
hype. Sorry.
I feel where you're coming from, but I also
But I mean,
am like,
think beyond just that. Think beyond comedy, just like
Well,
art in
but I
general.
just-
I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of
for
like
sure, but, like-
actors that I would like love to meet. Like I'd love to meet like Tom Hardy or like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Would be sick.
yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah. I think it's just something particular about like having your art, your heroes in that be,
Yeah.
like, you know, dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would flip out if I met Denzel, you know?
Yeah.
Or fucking
I feel like
It's a small list for me.
I feel like
it's not even like it's a lot of people, but it's just
Yeah.
like, and I've been lucky to I've met most of them so far.
You also just have like dope. You've chosen dope people to make your idols, whereas I have not.
Yeah.
Mine are all like old white men. Like I'm like Tarantino would be. I'd love to, you know. But it's like, or it's like Scorsese is great, but like that's like a 80-year-old man. Like I'll never have a friendship with, or even a mentorship. You know, it's like God bless him, but he's old as fuck and probably tired and busy. You know, it's like
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
But
to
I'm
say,
sure
man.
there's some where it would just like if I, if you know what would be crazy. I'll tell you this, and this is bordering on sexual fantasy, but if I was at a party and I just had a lively, lovely conversation with Stanley Tucci, that would probably be, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something where I'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
I got to eat brie with Stanley Tucci. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know who it is anymore for me. I'm like, I don't even, like, there are people that I would flip out about, but I don't know who's like particular to me, you know?
It would just be cool. It would be more mind-blowing to be friends with certain people.
Right.
That's
right.
Like if it was beyond meeting them, but it was like you genuinely have a soul connection with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what blows my
I don't even
mind.
know how to describe that.
Yeah,
that is just it makes you feel like it's like
a trip.
Well, no, it's like it makes you feel like you've arrived in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Like and I'm saying that meaning like all the other factors are kind of irrelevant because it's like, oh well, I'm cool with this person, like genuinely, not like superficial, but like you said, like soul connection.
Yeah.
And it's like someone who, they had a huge impact, and already you're like, oh well, they're probably going to be a piece of shit. Then they're not a piece of shit. And not only are they not a piece of shit, but they care about the same existential stuff that you do, and they like that's rare. I feel like
that's a
T-Pain.
Yeah,
it would be T-Pain.
Yeah, I like how we're now just naming people. Like, who would be crazy?
Nah, bro. If I could be friends
King
with
Arthur,
T-Pain,
imagine if we fucking historical figures.
this is the same level of
Abraham
attainability.
Lincoln, dude, that would probably be insane.
T-Pain and Abraham Lincoln, same level of attainability.
Same hats.
I feel like I would flip out if I could be friends with T-Pain, which is like sad because I have friends that are friends with T-Pain. It's so attainable.
Yeah. It is attainable.
It's so attainable.
And he's
just
a nerd
someone
too.
you're like,
He's
yeah,
like into the
right.
same shit. He's a
Yeah.
nerd.
Yeah.
I just saw a video recently where he's talking about that big ass chain,
Oh yeah.
and it's like $400,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
And
big
then
ass
he had
chain.
he had
It's not get crazy. $500,000 on it. It's crazy.
He had it melted down into a slightly smaller chain. What I forget.
Yeah,
I forget what he did.
Mark Twain, crazy.
I don't.
You mean
Just thinking of historical figures from Missouri.
Mark Twain? You mean of the Anti-Imperialist League? That dude?
I feel like
Sure.
I feel like
I know.
I feel like that conversation point though came from this place of feeling like there is a false dichotomy that like conscious people conscious artists create around like, oh, like don't hero worship and then stan.
Yeah.
And then they all have, and there's different rationalizations on
Right.
each side or whatever, but there's an in between of just like
art.
you can like art and like a person, and the person cannot be shitty. The person can be a decent human being, and then there can be like shared love and appreciation like around that.
And it's like funny because I always grew up with anyone. I feel like, I don't know. It's interesting when you consider that the people that you stan, I feel like you also understand they're at a different level than you, or like,
oh yeah,
like you don't hope to relate to them. You know what I mean? You're just like, they're dope because I don't relate to how genius they are or whatever.
Yeah.
And but it's weird because there are just a lot of people who they don't actually respect the people they respect. Like they don't actually fuck with the human version of the
they're
person.
an object.
Yeah.
They're an object.
Yeah,
Right?
it goes
it's a
back to that whole
consumer
conversation of just like,
That is related to the hero worship thing too,
Like,
because you do dehumanize. They're not a human being to you. They are like a deity to you.
Yeah.
You know?
They're a commodity.
Right.
yeah, like it's just not, it's not good.
Yeah.
When people's like part of their thing is just like being a fucking groupie, basically. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Not
It's a
good.
very real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's It's interesting because not even on some like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, but like I don't. It's weird. I don't like.
I mean, I don't 99% of the time.
Yeah. But I'm like
Yeah.
but I don't believe that. I don't believe I don't have a couple that would probably like blow me the fuck away.
That's what I'm saying. 99%
you know what I
of the
mean?
time. That's what I was saying. There has to be, like, I asked Zach this, and he's like, Tartakovsky.
Yeah,
He's like, he said basically there's no one, there's only Tartakovsky. That's the only person where if he walked in the room, I would be like, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But then there's other people we've talked about.
Yeah.
He said he's, you know,
See,
so it's like.
I think I'm just going to get caught off guard by it. I'm just never going to know. Because I thought like people outside my industry that I fuck with, like Jason DeMarco, I thought was gonna be.
I thought my brain went Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
I thought Jason Derulo didn't really eat all those pancakes with ice cream bars on top of them, but he does.
Oh, he does.
You know those TikToks he makes where he's like, "I'm making the fucking M&M pancakes."
The nightmare sink food. Jason Derulo.
I wonder what kind of roids
What were you saying
does.
about Jason DeMarco?
Like I thought he would be somebody that I wouldn't be able to talk to, and then like I found out. I guess I interviewed him at a thing a few years ago, and it was just like fine and normal. Yeah. Like everybody I think is gonna freak me out is like whatever.
To me, it's like it would have to be off guard. Like you getting groceries and seeing David Byrne, I can see why that's like really memorable because that's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I was at a party or like a kickback that wasn't like a big, like not a lot of people there, and like a person walked in, I feel like that would have a stronger impact than like seeing them on the street or at an event. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all. I think the conversation is also like oriented around like what do you want? Like what is it? What is the point besides I don't know, being able to say, hey, I met this person and got a picture, you know? And like for me as an artist, I feel like beyond the notion of collaboration or something, it's literally just this thing of wanting to, I guess, feel like you touched, like there was a touch, there was a moment of connection with someone who impacted your life so deeply. It's not even about, that's why the way I frame it, it's like I'm not even, some people I've been able to have relationships with or start relationships with, and that it just blows my mind. But I just want a touch and to say thank you or to express love and appreciation, because what they did is going to impact me for as long as I'm creating. Right. You know, after they die, it's still going to be a part of my imagination and a part of how I perceive art. And
yeah, I think also everybody that I feel that way about is like this close to me already. You know, like all the comics that
you could run into them.
Yeah, well, like all the comedians that I'm still inspired by are like I'm seeing them at shows on the regular, or if not every week or so, like every now and then they'll do a drop in, we'll talk. But like it's these sort of semi unattainable people that I feel the most like disdain toward, you know. Or I'm just like, you're doing so much just fuck shit with your platform, like I just can't care. There was a point where I felt that way about like Chappelle, and then it just went away so fucking fast. You know,
you're like, damn, you should have stayed in your. He should have stayed in his crib in the fucking
Columbus.
Just stay up there.
Right.
Don't come back.
Bro,
just continue to
go stay in Africa.
Just go back to Africa.
Yeah, stay there.
Go back to Yellow Springs where you came from. But yeah, bro, that fucking 2009 like comedy or Laugh Factory set could have been the last thing I saw from him.
Right.
Chappelle
he's wearing like a yellow shirt, that one? Or some colored shirt.
It's like a green like baseball shirt.
He's got to be one of the only guys I've ever seen to get in shape and look worse.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, really. Really, let's be honest.
He started wearing those.
The Bokeem Woodbine.
Yo,
bro, when he came back and he was blasting cigs and like looked huge, I was like,
remember his fit for the Netflix?
Bro.
It was long shirt,
the long
with, like,
shirts,
leather pants, and Rick Owens.
It's the long shirts that like hug his curves perfectly,
but
and
he's like big and deezed up, so it's like it doesn't. It's just not.
It just like cups the ass.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been smoking for 20 years. I'm really in touch. I sit in my garage and do push-ups and smoke.
Yeah, I went to Africa for a little bit, and I came back as late stage Busta Rhymes.
No, but he looks unwell. I mean, like when he came back, and now I feel like his image, people are like, let's slim down a little bit, Dave. Like, let's stop taking the creatine every day.
Let's dial it
because now
back.
he's starting to look more normal. I feel.
Really?
I think he's thinned down, and I think it's because his people are like, people are really not reacting to the whole jacked vibes, the whole ripped
people
trend
think you're scary.
cycle, roid cycle vibes. You were more reasonable when you didn't have 5 professional trainers making you bigger every day. People related to that.
I do want to say, at least from my side, I say all of that to still say don't have heroes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Don't, or at least maybe beyond that, it's like, yeah, they're humans.
Here's a tip for life.
That understanding is also a part of, I think, what can make for meaningful like connection and like appreciation for an artist. If you never actually understand that, then problems will ensue. You know,
if you can kill that impulse to like think they're perfect,
right,
and then get blown away when they're not,
right,
or get like, or just be like, look, I'm by no means a celebrity, but I have like things that I've done that people like, and there are people that will stop me on the street and be like, they'll just give me the stare down, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're dog, I'm just getting on the train right now, bro. Yeah. Like, this is the most, like, you're making it weird.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not that person, then like, I
love when they don't make it weird. When they have some awareness of like, what might this be like to receive this interaction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another advice for life.
That's what I get most. It's new. The getting recognized thing is new for me, but in New York City, it's only been that so far. It's been nice and normal, and even though this one dude, shouts out to you, saw me on the train, and I felt like he was a little nervous, and he was definitely staring, but when he came up and spoke, it was just nice and normal. You know, and so this dude yelled at me from inside of a building. He came from inside of a building. It was like, yo, you funny, man. You're funny, man. And I was like, I had headphones. I was like,
out
what?
From inside of a building?
He like came and opened the door and yelled at me. He was like, yo, you're funny, man.
Wow.
And I was like, what? What'd you say? He's like, you're funny, man. I think I seen you. And I was like, what was it? And he was like, with Zach. And I was like, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. He's like, you're funny, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I got the whole anime fan base, so they'll just come.
Yeah.
They'll just like stand in front of me,
they'll start talking like it's a dub, like, oh my god, it's you. I can't believe it. Oh, I'm messing this up. I saw one.
I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I saw the bully videos where the anime
kid,
where the anime kid snaps and he starts acting like he's in a recording booth. He's like, "You want to see me angry? I'll show you my power!" Like, and they start wailing on some kid.
Yeah.
That video, the kid's like, "You're embarrassing me in front of the whole class," to his teacher. How dare you? And she's like, "Shut up! Go to the principal."
I swear there are two of those. They're separate, but it's the same dynamic. It's a kid who's angry, talking like an anime character, and the teacher's like, "Oh, come on!
Yeah. I had a name.
What are you gonna do about it? You're my bitch. Don't you know that?"
The principal.
That's like you need to leave.
You need to leave. That video is unfortunately so funny.
Which
Where
one?
they're- Oh my god! Where the
You
guy,
need to leave.
the parent
Yeah,
teacher.
I forget what
conference
that.
or whatever.
Oh,
And this is some white guy just goes, "Why don't you go back?" Like it's a
Wait,
Mexican guy talking. He's like,
Oh,
"Why don't
right.
you just go back to Mexico?"
no. The funny
and then
thing.
everyone gets mad. And he goes,
The funny thing is how long they let it go on. Like they.
"Yeah,
You know what I
we've
mean?
talked about this.
Yeah,
how
we
he's
did
just
talk about
chilling
it.
there."
Yeah, like
Oh, I've
if-
only seen that part of the clip.
you could
Yeah.
tell. You could tell it was so performative because of how long they let the racism. Like they just let him do his thing. They were barely like saying anything to the I don't even know if he was actually Mexican, to the Latin American, Central American
Right.
dude,
Mhm.
and then they just start, and it's like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you know, it's just
Yeah.
so like,
I love when, like,
Can't skate here.
yeah,
That's
I
kinda
feel like
fun.
white liberals, you could tell they only react to the buzzwords. You know?
Right.
They don't have
It's
an
like, all
ethic
right,
about it.
now,
All right, you crossed the line, buddy.
now you're
Yeah.
making it so I have to do something here.
You guys recording?
Now you're making it obvious. Okay.
You could have dog
Yeah.
whistled it up all
Yeah.
day, and I would have said nothing.
Yeah.
But now you had to go and say nigga.
Yeah.
Wait.
We could have gone back to silently voting Republican every 4 years.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got to that from anime fans and anime voices.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Humanization.
It's a weird one.
This show's like a whirlwind sometimes.
You're on shrooms, I'm pretty sure, right?
Allegedly.
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 Portobello.